Hey everyone, today we're counting down the top 15 most bizarre modern art installations. Let's start with number 15, the Rubber Duck, Florentine Hofmann. The rubber duck, created by Dutch artist Florentine Hofmann, is a giant inflatable sculpture that is, essentially, an oversized version of the classic yellow rubber duck typically associated with bath time for children. However, Hoffmann's creation takes this object and transforms it into a huge public art installation, sparking joy and interest wherever it goes. The Rubber Duck project began in 2007 and has since traveled to a number of cities and countries, including Sydney, Los Angeles, Hong Kong, and Amsterdam. Each installation of the Rubber Duck varies in size, but typically measures around 54 feet or 16.5 meters in height, making it an imposing yet playful presence in the water where it's displayed. Hoffmann's intention with this piece was to evoke a sense of wonder and nostalgia, bridging the gap between art and everyday experiences of people across the world. The oversized duck floats in harbors, rivers, and lakes, and in doing so creates a striking visual contrast with its surroundings. This juxtaposition between the familiar and extraordinary encourages viewers to look at their environment with fresh eyes and to find some amusement in the unexpected. There's also a message about globalization and the interconnectedness of the world. By traveling to different countries and floating around in various bodies of water, it symbolizes the shared spaces and common experiences that unite people across continents. It's about collaboration too, as the process of installing the rubber duck is virtually an art in itself, needing local communities and logistics teams. This inflatable sculpture is transported in pieces and then assembled and inflated on site. This process becomes part of the public display, with people watching the transformation of their local waterfront into a temporary gallery for this giant floating artwork. Number 14. Support, Lorenzo Quinn. Support, a piece by Italian artist Lorenzo Quinn, is a powerful public art installation that addresses the pressing issue of climate change. It was first unveiled during the 2017 Venice Biennale, and it's a striking sculpture that features two gigantic hands emerging from the Grand Canal in Venice and appearing to support the historic Casa Gredo Hotel. The hands reaching up from the water are meant to symbolize both the ability of humans to impact the environment positively and the consequences of failing in our duty to protect it. Quinn, who's also known for his large-scale sculptures that often depict human hands, intended support to convey a message about the fragility of our planet and the urgent need to take action to prevent the effects of climate change. The hands are designed with meticulous detail, capturing the realistic texture and veins, which adds a sense of realism to this installation. The lifelike quality helps viewers to connect emotionally with the artwork, making the often abstract concept of climate change something that's more relatable. The location of the sculpture in Venice was important and poignant, as it's a city that had been dealing with rising sea levels and flooding for years, making it a symbol of the wider challenges faced by coastal cities around the world. By placing the hands in the Grand Canal, Quinn shows the immediate threat that climate change poses to cultural heritage sites and human settlements. The image of the hands, both supporting and appearing to hold up the building, serves as a metaphor for the dual role humans play in either exacerbating or alleviating environmental problems. Number 13. Mud Maid, Susan and Pete Hill. The Mud Maid is a sculpture by artists Susan and Pete Hill, and it can be seen in the Lost Gardens of Helligan, which is in Cornwall in England. It is a remarkable piece of living art that depicts a reclining female figure seemingly emerging from the earth itself, blending in with the surrounding landscape. The Mud Maid has become an iconic symbol of the gardens, drawing visitors from all over the world to witness it, and it was first constructed in 1997. It was part of a larger project aimed at restoring and revitalizing the historic gardens, which had fallen into neglect after the First World War. Susan and Pete Hill, who are known for their expertise in environmental and landscape art, were commissioned to create several mud sculptures that would complement and enhance the natural environment of the space. The Mud Maid, though, stands out among these works due to its unique integration of natural and artistic elements. The sculpture is made mainly from a framework of hollow timber and netting, which is then covered with mud, cement, and plants. This construction method allows the Mud Maid to evolve over time as the vegetation grows and changes with seasons. Her body is covered in a mix of grasses and ivy, which provides a lush green appearance in the spring and summer, while mosses and lichens create a more subdued, earthy tone in the autumn and winter. This interaction with the environment gives the sculpture a living, breathing quality, as if it's an integral part of the landscape itself. The serene pose was purposefully chosen, with her head turned to one side and her arms gently cradling the earth. Her peaceful expression and relaxed posture give a sense of tranquility and harmony, inviting visitors to pause and reflect on the beauty and interconnectedness of the natural world. The sculpture's location within the woodland area of the gardens further increases this sense of calm, as visitors often stumble upon the mud maid unexpectedly while exploring the paths around Helgen. Number 12. Equivalent 8, Carl Andre. Equivalent 8, which was made by American minimalist artist Carl Andre in 1966, is one of the most famous and controversial works of minimalist art. This piece is made up of 120 fire bricks that are arranged in a rectangular formation, measuring roughly 10 bricks long, 2 bricks wide, and 1 brick high. This simple arrangement was meant to challenge traditional ideas of sculpture and has since sparked debate and discussion within the art world. Andre's approach to Equivalent 8 has its basis in the minimalist movement, which is all about simplicity, repetition, and a focus on materials themselves rather than on a narrative or representational element. By using ordinary industrial bricks, Andre takes the mundane to a level of fine art, encouraging viewers to reconsider the way that we see everyday objects and materials. The title, Equivalent 8, refers to the fact that Andre created a series of 8 such brick arrangements, all of which have the same overall volume but different configurations. The work gained significant publicity in 1976 when it was purchased by the Tate Gallery in London. The public outcry that followed, often referred to as the Bricks controversy, centered around the perceived simplicity and lack of artistic merit of the piece. Critics and the general public questioned whether such a basic arrangement of bricks could be considered art, sparking debate about the nature and value of contemporary art itself. Well, despite the controversy, it's been recognized for its contributions to minimalist art and its role in changing the notions of sculpture. Andre's work invites viewers to engage with the physical properties of the materials and the spatial relationships between the elements. The uniformity and repetition of the bricks create a sense of rhythm and order, in line with the inherent qualities of the materials themselves. His use of industrial materials and straightforward construction methods keeps with his belief that art should be accessible and that its creation should involve a direct interaction with the materials. This approach reflects a broader trend within minimalist art, which seeks to strip away extraneous elements and focus on the essentials of form and structure. Number 11. The Matter of Time, Richard Serra. The Matter of Time by Richard Serra is a huge series of sculptures at the Guggenheim Museum in Spain. This installation, made up of 8 massive steel pieces, represents the pinnacle of Serra's exploration into the relationship between sculpture, space, and the viewer's perception of time. Richard Serra, who's a pioneering figure in the minimalist movement, is well known for his large-scale steel sculptures. The Matter of Time, which was created between 1994 and 2005, takes this to the next level by exploring his fascination with the physicality of materials and the sensory experiences they can evoke. The installation consists of torqued ellipses and spirals, with each piece carefully engineered to manipulate spatial perception and bodily movement. The sheer scale of the sculptures is pretty surprising when you first see it. Made from weathering steel, the piece stands at up to 14 feet or 4.3 meters high and weighs several tons. The material chosen for its rust-like coating that develops over time adds a temporal dimension to the work, echoing the installation's focus on time. Serra's work challenges traditional notions of sculpture, as rather being passive observers, viewers become active participants. The curved and twisted forms create pathways that compel you to engage physically with the art. So for example, walking through the narrow and expansive sections of the sculptures, you experience a shift in scale and proportion, leading to a heightened sense of disorientation and introspection. This physical interaction is central to Serra's intent, as he looks to create an experience of time and space. Set within the Guggenheim Museum itself further adds to a strange sensation you feel as you walk around, as the museum's flowing, organic architecture complements Serra's fluid forms, creating a dialogue of sorts between the building and the sculptures. The large gallery space allows pieces to breathe and invites visitors to explore the interplay of light, shadow, and the reflection on steel surfaces. Number 10. Spiral Jetty, Robert Smithson. Spiral Jetty was built by Robert Smithson in 1970, and it remains one of the most iconic examples of land art in the world, which is a movement that looked to take art out of galleries and integrate it into the natural landscape. It's located on the northeastern shore of the Great Salt Lake in Utah. The giant earthwork sculpture fully realized Smithson's vision of art that interacts dynamically with the environment. The Spiral Jetty is a 1,500-foot or 457-meter long and 15-foot or 4.5-meter wide coil that's made from mud, salt crystals, basalt rocks, and earth. Smithson chose the site because of its unique geological and ecological characteristics, particularly the red algae that thrive in the lake's waters. This vivid red coloration contrasts sharply with the dark rocks and the white salt, creating a visually compelling piece that changes with the seasons and the lake's fluctuating water levels. Smithson was fascinated by the concepts of entropy and the inevitable decay and transformation of all things over time. The Spiral Jetty encapsulates these ideas, as it's designed to be in constant flux. The spiral form is itself significant too, as spirals are natural patterns that can be found in shells, galaxies, and even weather systems, symbolizing growth, continuity, and the cyclical nature of life. By choosing this shape, Smithson connects his work to the universal forms and forces, making Spiral Jetty a piece on the interconnectedness of the cosmos and human existence. Over the decades, the Spiral Jetty has weathered environmental changes, from droughts that have left it completely exposed to periods where it's been submerged by rising waters, and in doing so has influenced generations of artists and continues to draw visitors to its location. Its integration into the landscape challenges traditional ideas of art, inviting viewers to experience it not just as an object, but as a place, and one that you really need to commit to visiting because of how remote it is. Number 9. Soul City. Soul City, or the Pyramid of Oranges, was made by South African-born artist Roelof Louw in 1967, and it's a work of conceptual art that again challenges the ideas of sculpture and audience interaction. This installation is made up of a large pyramid that's constructed entirely from fresh oranges, stacked meticulously to form a visually striking structure. Over time, as visitors are invited to take an orange from the pyramid, the artwork undergoes a process of transformation and decay, reflecting on the ideas of participation and the passage of time and decay. The essence of Soul City lies in its temporary nature and the active role of the audience in its evolution. By encouraging viewers to take an orange, Louw breaks down the conventional barrier between art and viewer. In this case, the act of participation itself is a significant part of the artistic experience. The gradual shrinking of the pyramid symbolizes the transient nature of life and the inevitability of change. As visitors remove oranges, the pyramid loses its original form and structure, highlighting the constant flux inherent in both natural processes and human existence. Soul City also plays with your sensory perception in a unique way. The sight of the vibrant oranges, the fresh citrus scent, and the tactile experience of handling the fruit all contribute to a multi-sensory encounter. This engagement of all the senses deepens the viewer's connection to the piece, making the experience more immersive and memorable. Number 8. Prada Marfa, Michael Elmgreen and Ingar Dragset. When you're traveling in a remote desert region outside where it feels like there's nothing around, the last thing you'd probably expect to find is a luxury fashion store. But that's exactly what you'll come across near Marfa in Texas. That's the location of an artwork called Prada Marfa, which was created by the Scandinavian artist duo Michael Elmgreen and Ingar Dragset in collaboration with Prada. Unveiled in October 2005, it's a life-sized replica of a Prada store, complete with real merchandise including luxury shoes and handbags from the brand's Fall and Winter 2005 collection. This isn't, though, a functional store and is instead a permanent sculpture that's sealed shut, and it's meant to remain untouched and unmaintained, so it can gradually decay over time. The artists are known for their thought-provoking works that often challenge societal norms and the question of nature of contemporary art. Prada Marfa is a typical example of their approach, merging high-end fashion world with the stark, desolate landscape of West Texas. The installation's remote location on US Highway 90, about 26 miles northwest of Marfa, adds to that mystery. It sits against a vast open landscape, offering a surreal and unexpected sights for passers-by. Since its installation, though, as expected, Prada Marfa has faced various challenges, including vandalism and debates over its status as art versus advertising. Despite these issues, though, it's become a beloved landmark, attracting art enthusiasts, tourists, and curious travelers from around the world. Moving on to number 7, Embankment, Rachel Whiteread. Embankment by British artist Rachel Whiteread is a huge installation that was exhibited in Tate Modern's Turbine Hall in London from October 2005 to May 2006. The work was part of the museum's Unilever series, which invited artists to create large-scale installations specifically for the Turbine Hall space. Known for her distinctive approach to sculpture, Whiteread's Embankment is an exploration of memory, space, and the everyday objects that shape our lives. The installation features around 14,000 translucent white polyethylene boxes, which are cast from the interior spaces of cardboard boxes. These boxes are stacked and arranged in various configurations throughout the vast hall, creating a labyrinth of sorts for visitors to navigate. The sheer number of boxes and their arrangement gives the installation a sense of mass and lightness, playing with perceptions of solidity and emptiness. Whiteread's work often focuses on the concept of negative space, and Embankment is no different. By casting the inside of ordinary cardboard boxes, she captures the voids and hidden spaces that are usually overlooked. This technique transforms the mundane into something extraordinary, encouraging viewers to reconsider the objects and spaces that surround them daily. The translucent quality of the boxes further adds an ethereal dimension to the installation, as light passes through them and casts shifting patterns of shadows and illumination across the floors and walls. There are a number of ways this can all be interpreted, with one prominent theme being that of memory and the traces of human presence. The cardboard boxes, objects typically associated with storage and moving, bring up a sense of transience and the accumulation of personal histories. The installation's title, Embankment, further suggests ideas of containment and accumulation, as if the boxes are holding the memories and experiences of countless individuals. Number 6, the Infinity Mirrored Room, Yayoi Kusama. Infinity Mirrored Room is an amazing but bizarre concept by the renowned Japanese artist Yayoi Kusama, and has captivated audiences worldwide. Kusama, known for her avant-garde style and pioneering work in contemporary art, uses mirrors, lights, and repetitive patterns to create an illusion of infinite space. This series, first introduced in the 1960s, represents a significant evolution in her artistic journey, showcasing her fascination with infinite repetition and overcoming physical boundaries. The basic structure of an infinity mirrored room is small, enclosed space lined with mirrors on all sides, including the ceiling and floor. Inside the room, various light sources such as LEDs, hanging bulbs, or lanterns are strategically placed, and when lit, these lights reflect endlessly off the mirrored surfaces, creating a dazzling kaleidoscope effect. Visitors typically enter the room alone or in small groups, experiencing the sensation of being surrounded by a seemingly infinite universe of light and color. Kusama's project is deeply personal and conceptual, often drawing on her own experiences and psychological states. Kusama has been open about her struggles with mental health and her use of art as a means of coping with hallucinations and obsessive thoughts. The immersive nature of the rooms can be seen as a physical manifestation of Kusama's inner world, a place where boundaries dissolve and the self becomes part of a larger, infinite cosmos. One of the most famous installations in this series is the Infinity Mirrored Room, the souls of millions of light years away, which was first exhibited in 2013. This particular room uses hundreds of small LED lights suspended in the air, which change colors and patterns, creating a dynamic and ever-shifting visual experience. The effect is both hypnotic and meditative, inviting viewers to lose themselves in the endless reflections and to contemplate their place in the universe. Number 5. Gaia Mother Tree, Ernesto Neto. Gaia Mother Tree is a truly bizarre installation by Brazilian artist Ernesto Neto that was exhibited in Zurich's main train station in the summer of 2018. The artwork represents a blend of art, nature, and spirituality, encapsulating his long-standing interest in organic forms, community engagement, and sensory experiences. Gaia Mother Tree is a towering sculpture made entirely of brightly colored hand-crocheted cotton, forming a vast, intricate canopy that mimics the shape and presence of a colossal tree. Neto's work often blurs the lines between art, architecture, and nature, creating these immersive environments that invite viewers to engage with their surroundings on multiple sensory levels. Standing over 66 feet or 20 meters tall, this installation extends from the floor to the ceiling of the station's Grand Hall, covering the space in a vibrant textile forest. The tree's roots spread out over the floor, forming small enclosures and inviting visitors to sit, relax, and participate in various activities. The title, Gaia Mother Tree, shows the deep connections to nature and the spirituality inherent in the piece. And by invoking Gaia, Neto highlights the importance of harmony between humans and nature, arguing for a more sustainable and respectful relationship with the environment. Gaia Mother Tree also serves as a space for communal gatherings and cultural exchange. Throughout its exhibition, the installation hosted a variety of events, including music performances, workshops, and talks, and these activities transformed the static artwork into a dynamic living space, fostering dialogue and interaction among diverse groups of people. Another thing that's a hallmark of Neto's works, reflecting his belief in art as a catalyst for social connection and transformation. Number 4. Waste Not, Songdong. Waste Not by Chinese artist Songdong is an exploration of memory, loss, and the human tendency to accumulate objects. First exhibited in 2005 at Beijing Tokyo Art Projects, the work features over 10,000 items meticulously arranged in a gallery space. These objects, ranging from everyday household items to personal mementos, belong to the artist's mother, Zhao Zhengwan, who had hoarded them over several decades following China's Cultural Revolution. The title Waste Not sums up the central theme of the installation, as in the frugality and resourcefulness that becomes forced upon people by the hardships of life, particularly during the Cultural Revolution and the subsequent economic difficulties in China. Zhao Zhengwan's saving of items, everything from toothpaste tubes to broken appliances, shows a mindset shaped by scarcity and survival. This practice of saving and reusing is common among many who lived through tumultuous times. It's made visible and poignant in Songdong's installation. The creation of Waste Not was both a collaborative and cathartic process for Songdong and his mother. Compulsive hoarding became a way to cope with her grief and maintain a sense of continuity, and by turning her collection into an art installation, Songdong helped his mother to confront and release her attachment to these objects, transforming personal history into a public narrative. The installation is presented in a highly organized manner, with items categorized and displayed systematically across the gallery floor. This methodical arrangement contrasts sharply with the chaotic nature of hoarding, suggesting a sense of order imposed on the disorder of life. The sheer volume of objects and their careful placement invite contemplation of the relationships between people, their possessions, and the memories they hold. Number 3. Stonehenge Jim Reinders. Stonehenge by American artist Jim Reinders is a very unusual sculpture located near Alliance, Nebraska. This unique installation is a full-scale replica of England's Stonehenge, but with a twist. It's entirely made from vintage American automobiles. Completed in 1987, Stonehenge is in honor of American car culture, creativity, and the artist's playful sense of humor. Jim Reinders, who was inspired by the original Stonehenge during his time living in England, came up with the idea of Stonehenge as a tribute to his father. The project became a collective family effort, with Reinders and his relatives gathering over the summer solstice to assemble the installation. The structure's got 39 automobiles, including sedans, station wagons, and pickup trucks, all painted gray to mimic the appearance of weathered stones of Stonehenge. The cars are all positioned in the same formation as the ancient stone circle, with some vehicles standing upright, others stacked horizontally, and several buried halfway into the ground. The dimensions and layout of Stonehenge have been replicated almost perfectly here, with the outer circle measuring roughly 96 feet or about 29.2 meters in diameter. The central trilithon structure, made from cars instead of stone lintels and uprights, is also faithfully recreated. And it's this attention to detail that shows Reinders' respect for the original monument, while injecting a distinctly American flavor into the work. Over the years, Stonehenge has gained recognition as a cultural landmark, featured in various travel guides, documentaries, and even a few films. Number 2. Museo Atlantico, Jason DeCaires Taylor. Museo Atlantico, created by British artist Jason DeCaires Taylor, is an underwater museum that's located off the coast of the Canary Islands. Officially inaugurated in January of 2017, it is Europe's first underwater museum and serves as a unique blend of art, marine conservation, and environmental awareness. The museum has over 300 life-size sculptures installed at a depth of around 40 feet, or about 12 meters, and it's accessible to divers and snorkelers, creating an immersive experience that combines the artistic expression with natural underwater world. Taylor is well known for his underwater sculptures, and he designed Museo Atlantico to interact with the marine environment and promote ecological awareness. The sculptures are made from pH-neutral marine-grade cement and were designed to encourage coral growth and attract marine life. The art installations here are divided into several sections, each conveying messages about contemporary society, human impact on the environment, and the ocean's role in our ecosystem. One of the most striking sections is the Rubicon, which features 35 human figures walking towards a gate. This piece symbolizes the point of no return concerning climate change and environmental degradation, urging viewers to reflect on the urgency of taking action to protect our planet. Another interesting installation is the Raft of Lampedusa, which is a commentary on the refugee crisis. This sculpture shows a group of refugees on a makeshift raft, highlighting the plight of those forced to flee their homes due to conflict and environmental disasters. By placing this sculpture underwater, Taylor connects the refugee crisis to broader themes of human displacement and the ocean's role as both a barrier and a sanctuary. It's also got a botanical garden sculpture, the Ocean Garden, featuring statues of local plants and animals, and this installation celebrates the biodiversity of the Canary Islands, and it serves as a reminder of the delicate balance of marine ecosystems. As marine life colonizes the sculptures, they become living artworks, evolving and changing with the ocean currents. Number 1. Sunflower Seeds, Weiwei. Possibly the most famous, bizarre, modern art installation of recent times was Sunflower Seeds by Chinese contemporary artist Ai Weiwei. Designed as an exploration of mass production, consumerism, cultural identity, and collective memory, it was first exhibited at Tate Modern's Turbine Hall in London from October 2010 to May 2011. Incredibly, the installation was made up of over 100 million hand-painted porcelain sunflower seeds, collectively weighing around 150 tons and covering an area of over 10,000 square feet, or 1,000 square meters. Ai Weiwei, who has made a career from his provocative and politically charged works, uses sunflower seeds to comment on the political landscapes of modern China, as well as those of broader global themes. The choice of sunflower seeds is deeply symbolic, as during the Cultural Revolution in China, Mao Zedong was often depicted as the sun, with the Chinese people represented as sunflowers turning towards him. Sunflower seeds are a common snack in China, and it brings up memories of this period, making the installation a reflection on the collective experiences of the Chinese people. The sheer scale of sunflower seeds is almost unbelievable. Each seed, though appearing identical at first glance, is uniquely crafted, produced over 2.5 years by over 1,600 artisans in the Chinese city of Jingdezhen, a place that's famous for its porcelain production. The seeds highlight the difference between individuality and mass production. Visitors to Tate Modern were initially encouraged to walk across the field of seeds, engaging physically with the installation. This tactile interaction transformed the artwork into a shared experience, emphasizing themes of community and collective memory. However, due to health concerns related to the dust generated by the porcelain, this aspect of the installation was brought to an end, and the seeds could only be viewed from a distance. This restriction, while limiting direct engagement, added another layer of meaning, underscoring the fragility and preciousness of the individual within the collective. Mainly, though, this installation reflected Ai Weiwei's ongoing critique of the Chinese government's policies and practices. By using porcelain, a medium that's been central to Chinese culture for centuries, he ties his work to a long tradition of Chinese artistry, while addressing modern political issues at the same time. The seeds symbolize both the historical continuity of Chinese culture and the disruptions brought about by political change. This installation then invites viewers to contemplate their own place within these broader narratives, making it a powerful commentary on the interconnectedness of the globalized world. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Thank you to our channel members.